Who killed the vegan sausage? Is this what we'll be asking ourselves in 5 years as vegan companies continually get bought up by food industry giants? The documentary Who Killed the Electric Car showed how back in the 70s, virtually all innovative patents for electric cars were bought up by the titans of industry and shelved in the vaults of the oil and automotive industry's biggest players. Very recently, vegan sausage maker Field Roast was acquired by Maple Leaf Foods, a food industry giant that sells meat products. Now, I don't think that anybody is expecting any of these food industry giants to put the kibosh on vegan kill bosses, but there are concerns from consumers who consider themselves ethical consumers and that take pride in, feeling that they support companies that have an ethical approach to their business. In this case, in regards to the animal agriculture industry. People seem to be most concerned when they support a company that doesn't sell animal products, makes the decision to sell their company to a company that does. In this case, Maple Leaf Foods is a major distributor of meat. Clearly, the two companies would seem to be on opposite ends of the ethical spectrum, so to say. According to Maple Leaf Foods CEO, their acquisition aligns with our vision to be a leader in sustainable protein and create shared value through making a positive social impact. Taking that at face value, it sounds like Maple Leaf has a conscience and would like to begin to improve their contribution to what Andrew Zimmerman once called a broken food system. Now, Field Roast CEO David Lee's blog post leading up to the acquisition detailed that for his company, one thing has always been certain: uncertainty and change. Now, I have noticed that on Field Roast's social media, they have been pretty active in responding to people's concerns, and essentially what it comes down to that I can see is two main points that they're trying to make. The product line that customers now enjoy will remain the same, and that their company mission of ethical standards is still the same. Now, interestingly, the Field Roast CEO, David Lee, has been himself personally responding on social media to some of those with concerns, and he's quite blunt, quite frank in his responses. He does point out that the majority of Field Roast's customers are meat eaters. In a press release statement after discussing with his employees their concerns, David listed some things that the company will insist on moving forward. Everything from Field Roast products not being featured with animal-based products in the promotion of those Field Roast products, and even things like the office furniture at Field Roast headquarters and facilities, not containing leather. One of the main concerns for those with concerns regarding this deal is that it supports the meat industry. I'd be curious how some shareholders of Maple Leaf Foods feel about this acquisition. They might not feel it's in their best interest. Just days after this was announced, another little nugget dropped in the world of vegan meat alternatives when it was announced that the Tyson chicken meat company would be further investing in the company Beyond Meat, of which last year they bought a 5% share. The Tyson CEO is now famous for saying the future of food might be meatless, and this latest reinvestment is in alignment with that outlook. Perhaps what's worth acknowledging here with all this is that, the people that have these concerns, that as valid as those concerns may be, the big companies, their interest in these smaller plant-based companies is inevitable. While some of this consumer base that considers themselves, ethical consumers may have these concerns, there's another side of, ethical vegan consumers over here are actually seeing this as a good thing. More product on the store shelves, more marketing of meatless products to the mainstream consumer. And while a potential concern is that the money from the sales of a product like Field Roast will now end up going to a company that produces meat, one would assume that the sales spreadsheets will show Maple Foods where to continue to put that money, i.e. in further product production and in further marketing of, the products as the sales figures show. The plant-powered protein market has grown too quickly in the last few years to suffer the same fate that the electric car did back in the 1970s. The big meat producers, they can see where the chess pieces are moving, and the smarter giants have realized that it's time to embrace the growth of this market and to capitalize on it. For companies like Field Roast to get to the next level of growth, they have accepted a known truth. Economy always favors the big players. One can hate the players all they want. Counterintuitive to pretend the game they're playing doesn't exist.